have no idea why. I'm doing exactly what I did last week and the week before that I tested it. So let's pop up the questions, make sure my audio is functioning, which I tested before the show. And anyways, my name is Todd Standing. I am the man who takes people out into the field and has them get live interact with their eyewitness of Sasquatch. I'm working very, very hard to make the discovery of Sasquatch happen. And this is a live show where I talk about everything Sasquatch and wilderness. Hello, Kyla. Hello, Todd, and everyone else. So Central Michigan Bigfoot is back. And if y'all could give me so I just had to quit the live show and now it's working. Woohoo! Wave your magic wand and the platform that must not be named, because if you say something negative about this platform, suddenly all your videos disappear and suddenly nothing happens and suddenly it's magical. So, but I'm not here to talk about conspiracies and stuff that happens on the Google and blah blah blah. I'm here to answer questions about a topic that many of you are aware I'm seriously involved in, and that's the discovery of Sasquatch. And I always get amazing, awesome, fantastic questions. And I see there's lots of fantastic, amazing people on here. Hey, Todd, thanks for your hard work, Dustin. Dustin, it is a pleasure to do this research. It is a pleasure. My job is absolutely amazing. My life is just so absolutely cool and fantastic. I am a full time Sasquatch researcher. I do movies about Sasquatch and I do TV shows about Sasquatch, but I don't know. It's so I guess I'm a director, writer, producer, and but who cares about that stuff? I absolutely I do movies, I work cameras, I write the 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 events that have transpired in my in the different expeditions that I go on, because I care about the discovery of Sasquatch. So and I care about how that can affect our beautiful planet. You need to grow your beard back. Thank you, Rusty. So I don't know. We'll see. I beard, no beard. I don't know. I'd like to have the long hair back, but age is thinning my hairline so dramatically that I don't know how that's going to be. So, Vivid Outdoorsman wanted to say, "Hey Todd, wanted to tell you about something that happened to me back during hunting season. A rock was thrown horizontally at me while in a tree stand and hit the tree dead center next to me." Yeah, that's something they do. I mean, so there's things that I look at when a rock is thrown at me. First thing is, I mean, the velocity and the trajectory. I didn't know that when you throw a rock at high velocity to a tree, extremely high velocity, the tree looks like it smokes, like smoke comes off the tree. It's not smoke, it's dust. But every tree I've ever seen a Sasquatch throw a rock at, it's such velocity that, and they also, there's something else too, that the rock never explodes. A lot of rocks will shatter. They always seem to find a rock that doesn't shatter, hits that darn tree, and makes a smoking thing. Just with, again, it's just the dust. It's not really smoking. But I've just never seen. I've never been able to duplicate, and I've never seen anybody duplicate. I probably would have to have a shot, uh, one of those slingshots, and give it a try with a rock and see if dust, which looks like smoke, comes off the tree from incredible velocity, incredible power, and it's scary too because so Vivid Outdoorsman's talking about this. He didn't see the Sasquatch, otherwise he would have said that, obviously. And I've noticed that too, Vivid Outdoorsman, is it hits the trees right in the freaking middle. Like sometimes a tree will be like 2 feet, 3 feet, usually a foot and a half. And it's right in the center. It hits the tree and hits the tree right in front of me. And I'll tell you, it's extremely impressive, and especially when it hits the tree and you look in the direction from which it came. Sometimes I can hear it coming too, because the rock is oddly shaped and it makes weird sounds because you just don't see it. That just doesn't happen. You don't. So all those things add up to. I really have no. I really have no explanation other than a Sasquatch could throw a rock like that. No other explanation at all. And I think people should really start considering that uh, very seriously, because it's totally preposterous. Like, to think that a guy's out there with a slingshot blasting rocks at you, sneak it up on you. I don't know. It's Sasquatch behavior. I'll tell you that much. It's definitive Sasquatch behavior, 100%. Hey Todd, love from India. India, really? It's Prakit. So you're really from India? Thank you for that's the first person from India ever. Uh, what was your intention behind slowly approaching the Bigfoot from behind before getting hit by a log? This is a good question. So he's talking about video 6. Uh, my intention was to keep moving forward. To be honest, I'm pretty shocked. I don't think the Sasquatch knew that I could see him because I had my night vision, right? And normally, if a Sasquatch is around me or humans are around and they can't see a Sasquatch at night, and it's quite likely they're aware that we can't see at night, but I could see with my camera. And I just wasn't going to stop moving forward. Um, I was going to keep distance, but I was going to move around. So I was approaching the Sasquatch from behind. As soon as I saw that it was a Sasquatch, I was going to go left and circle around and go in front of him and say hi. I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. That's the plan. Say hi, maybe bow my head down, put a hand up. Uh, try to communicate with him. But I was truly so shocked that he had stopped like that. It was absolutely shocking to me. And I knew it was a Sasquatch. I had no doubt it was a Sasquatch. I saw how enormous it was. And yeah, I was just absolutely shocked and astonished and just kept moving forward. And even today, if I was to think about it and plan what I was going to do, I would do things differently. I would see they were trying to get me the Sasquatch to my right was trying to get me to look over at him, and I should have known that a Sasquatch was going to get me on the left. That's what they do. Wherever the sound's coming from and the object they're trying to get you to turn away from, it's always going to be there or behind you. But I was pretty calm for the most part, considering the situation as stressful as it can be. I do feel like when I get around a Sasquatch, guys, they could have killed me. They could kill me anytime. I could just disappear. I'm extremely confident they're not going to harm me. So they just do things around me, and if they do harm me, it's just going to be very assertive, non-aggressive. Assertive is painful enough, trust me, with the Sasquatch when he tosses you or lets you know. And that's I just keep moving forward. And Jeff Meldrum told me once, after I filmed video 8, my batteries are dead and I didn't have any more footage, and my batteries were dead. Like everything was dead. I was sitting there trying to film them, and I just filmed it till my batteries didn't work anymore. And then I walked up that hill further. But if you're not going to do that, if you're not going to walk and move forward, if you're going to chicken out and go home, then go do something else. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to not want to do this kind of research, but just go do something else. And I'm not going to quit moving forward after all the time and all the money and it's mostly the biggest thing is time away from my family, time risking my life, that I really cherish my life. I cherish my family. I cherish my friends. I cherish my existence on this beautiful planet, and I risk that. And I've laid down to die at times. I don't know how some of the situations I got out of, and I've survived. So it's hard. And if you're not gonna, when the moment comes, are you gonna move forward? Are you gonna quit and go home and suck your thumb? And there were days. I'll tell you. So let's talk about this. There was a day where I did quit. I remember it. I was on a reserve close to Calgary called Morley, and it had this incredible piece of night vision, absolutely amazing night vision. Pitch blackout, and a Sasquatch was approaching me stealthily, and I could see him coming, like ducking through the trees, ducking through the woods. Come, I couldn't hear it, but I could see him, and I was looking right at him. It was pitch blackout, and when he was about 30 yards away, I was just terrified, just frozen in fear. My fire was completely out. It was like a bad dream with this, and he looked angry. Like this, you could see his face. He looked like he was mad, and he was moving stealthily. And he was clearly sneaking up on me. I said, "Hey, I see you. Hey!" And then I saw him go, "Can you see me?" He just turned his head. And he looked. He's like, "You can see me." So he stood up. I tell you, I was beam me up, Scotty. I want to go home. It was terrifying, absolutely terrifying. And so he got up and he just moved off, and I backed away as well. And then I lost sight of him pretty fast. And I went home after that. I was terrified. I was totally, totally terrified. That was like something, that movie, The Ring, where that girl comes out and she looks pretty scary as she's coming out of the well. It was much more terrifying than that. 10 times more terrifying, because real life, you're all by yourself. Absolutely nobody around. There's this giant primate stealthily moving towards you with an angry look on his face. And I felt hostility from him. I felt anger, like he didn't like me. And yeah, it absolutely, totally, totally terrified me. But I went home, I thought about it, and I know that what I'll do next time, and I'll tell you this, I'll say it right here, right now. Next time that happens, I'm gonna move forward. That's the only thing. When you're in a situation where you're so overwhelmed, which can happen, you got to have a goal. You got to have a plan. And my plan is keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward. Just go and move forward. Go give them an apple, right? Like just whatever it takes. Move forward. Bow down to them. Put my hand up the way the chimpanzees show submission. Just show them that you're here for this and you're not going to quit and move forward. And that's all I could know to do is just move forward. And because it's real and it's terrifying. And I don't care who you are. Like I said in my movie, I don't care who you are. When you come out there, you will feel the fear. And, and my expeditioners know it. And it's a wonderful yet terrifying experience, to be honest. So thank you for that question, my friend from India. That's wonderful. All the way from India. We just get people all over the world. That's something so cool about the internet. So amazing. All right, let's see what we have here. It's good to see you. Thank you. It's good to have you on. Yeah, to hey Todd, hello. Navajo. Hello, Navajo from Shiprock, New Mexico. The Navajo Indians, the Apache Indians. That's so cool. I've worked with an Apache tracker once before. It was amazing. Hello from Branson, Missouri. Everything is well. Thank you. Uh, Minority Report. Thanks for tuning in. Brandon would love to have an experience. Yes, everybody says that, and then when it happens, I don't know. It's it can be pretty harsh. What should I do if a Sasquatch tries to abduct my wife? Oh my God, Dustin. We are way out from civilization, living on our boat. We hike in remote places, far from help. What could I do or should I do? There's nothing you could do, Dustin. She's gone. Like what I suggest you do, this is what I do when I go out with female expeditioners, is I make sure they have a belt on, and I grab that belt and shake them around, especially if I think there's a Sasquatch around. If there's tree breaks and you feel like there's a Sasquatch around, just dominate her and stay close to her and let them know that she's your mate and hope that they respect that. And I find they do respect that, that's your mate, your female. So when you're out in the bush, just show affection for her, especially in Sasquatch habitat. Hold her hand, kiss her, love her, show that this is your family. And I think that's the best thing you could do to protect your female. So, and your children too. Even just be affectionate to them, show love to them, show exceptional love. Uh, they'll see it, and that's what I've done. That's my theory, and it's been working. I guess I haven't had a woman get abducted, but yeah. So that's all I could. Because if they grab her, man, nobody, no one's going to believe you. So nobody is going to believe a darn thing you say. They'll call you a liar, and you're just not going to get any respect if your wife is stolen, and you can't track her, you can't find her. They'll go places where nobody can go. So just all we can do is an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. By prevention, show that you love your wife, be affectionate to her. If she has a belt, put a belt on her. If they come around, get her behind you. Be the man. They understand male dominated societies. Be a man, and if a Sasquatch came around, latch onto her, grab onto her belt, hold her tight. You know, be the male to her, and I expect they will appreciate that. I really do. So, Todd, have you ever seen a dug burrow with branches around it as a nest? No. A cave. I saw a cave that had branches all put up around it, and then there was like grass inside of it, and I believe that was a Sasquatch thing. Um, so yeah, let's see what else I can do here. What's going on here? JB scream loud and long. Hi Andy. If you want to keep your wife safe, take them to your girl take your girlfriend camping. I love humor like that. That is awesome, Terry Thomas. That is so cool. I love stuff like that. That's how you're gonna find a Sasquatch, is be hilarious. Take Terry Thompson out with you because he's a funny guy, and fun, laugh and have a good time, and the Sasquatch will come around. That's what happened right before Jeff Meldrum saw a Sasquatch. I was telling him native jokes, and he loved it. He was laughing, and they came around, and they're very attracted to laughter and joy, and that's the Sasquatch I want, or Sasquatch that want laughter and joy. If you're negative and hostile and angry, I don't want a Sasquatch that's interested in those feelings, right? Hello, Todd Standing, Greg from Indiana. Wish you safe. See, we've got Greg from Indiana. We've got a gentleman from India. Hey, Todd, your evidence is amazing. Thank you. Forever your fan. And David, it's our evidence, my friend. It's all our evidence. Survivor Man participated. Jeff Meldrum made a commitment. John Bitternagel made an enormous commitment to work with me. John Bitternagel, man, he made a commitment to me. All the stuff that he did, he never got paid for. He just did it all, and because he's passionate about the discovery, he participated in my documentary and did interviews with me, just because he cared about the discovery. It's all he cared about. That's how you test somebody's mettle. He didn't care about anything else other than this discovery, and he was attracted to work with me because he felt like I was doing things that could help facilitate this discovery moving forward very, very quickly. And then there's Mike Bichette says, "Let them take her." Then she doesn't get half. But hopefully you love your wife, Dustin. So have you ever seen her? Oh, the dugout burrows, and this is Parkeet. Oh, Todd, you don't know how crazy Indian fans are when it comes to Todd Standing, really? Huh? My friends are fed up of me talking about Todd Standing. Well, that's cool. Thank you for your support. That really means a lot. So I'm very yeah, it's very cool. And there's I guarantee you there's something to do with Sasquatch in India. I've heard about it in, not just Russia and China and Yeren Yeti and into Africa. John Bitternagel talked about, speaking of John Bitternagel, talked about the Sasquatch in Africa. So and India, there's such amazing terrain. There's got to be something out there. I'd be interested in hearing about that too. So are Sasquatch susceptible to disease? Absolutely. Rabies? Absolutely. Also, could humans be potential biohazards? Absolutely, Alpha Omega. Oh my God. When I go see the gorillas behind the scenes where they can touch me, and this is in the Calgary Zoo, and I can feed them and stuff, you have to wear a mask, you have to sanitize your hands. This is way before COVID, like, a decade ago, because they're totally susceptible to all of our illnesses, 100%. And that is going to be exactly the same with Sasquatch. But when it comes to things like Lyme disease and roundworm, they're medicine people. They have powerful medicine. They're going to know how to deal with that stuff, and I've just seen it in their medicine. I've seen their medicine firsthand. They've applied it to me, and yeah. Any spots in Northern Ontario? You know what, JP, you're going to have to maybe go on the chat room, and maybe Phil can answer that for you. So it's not something I really want to help cooperate and bring people together. It's a big part of what I do, but just right now I'm just barely keeping my head above water, finishing the episodes for Wild TV, working on the expo. This is a crazy time of year for me. And then with COVID and the borders opening up, if the Americans are allowed, and on July 21st they might allow Americans over the border to Canada. I sure hope so. And if that happens, man, I'm going to be like busier than a one-legged man in a butt kinking contest, and busy in a wonderful way, because my Canadian expeditions are amazing, but there's more from the United States is my main. It's my bread and butter. It's why I was #1 on Netflix. Americans embrace the topic of Bigfoot significantly more, or at least they do publicly. And America is top for Bigfoot. Bigfoot, Sasquatch is, and I think the best evidence in the whole world is the Patterson footage, and the Jimmy Chilcott tracks from Washington State into Oregon. So yeah, it's just absolutely, the United States is. If there was a competition, and I would have a competition for the best evidence, well, actually, no, I wouldn't, but just the USA has they got it going on for Sasquatch stuff, and I'm uh, enormously supportive of. But I don't really care about borders and stuff. I don't feel like, I am proud to be a Northman. I'm proud to live in the North, and that's Canada, the true North. But you know, I love the United States. I'll go all the way down to Alabama, Florida, Texas, New York State. You guys know this: Washington State, Oregon, California, and I just, it's our North America is our continent, and I love North America. Just absolutely love it. It's my it's my favorite place in the whole world is North America. I could just travel around North America for the rest of my life and just be so happy. So, although, and I'm even talking down into Mexico, into the Caribbean, on the Caribbean side of Mexico. I absolutely love it there. So, North America is just, I'm so honored and proud and so happy to be a North American. That's what I would consider myself, really, because I think it's different. It's quite different in Europe, quite different. And then obviously down to South America is very different down there. And then, Japan, India, China, these are very, very different countries. So I've never been to Russia, but I feel like the land and the animals and the plants. It's what I love. It's my favorite. I grew up here. It's home. It's home. North America's home. It always will be. So, what do you think? This is Vivid Outdoorsman. What do you think other Sasquatch, or do you think other Sasquatch bury their dead? This is why there's no bodies. Yeah, they do. I'm quite sure they put their dead in a place, anyways. So, and that's Langchun, China proves that. So look that up. Langchun, China, Gigantopithecus. The bones of Gigantopithecus were put way up in caves, and that happened. Was it hundreds of thousands of years ago? So, amazing, amazing discovery. What do Ina's boyfriend? Oh, what about Ina's boyfriend? How's he doing? He got tossed by Kubota, and they didn't seem to respect his mate. Thoughts? Yeah, good. Wow, Stu, what an amazing question. Yeah, he's never coming back to Canada. He's traveling in Europe now. He won't even go to India because the tigers, as an example, and he's permanently just done with wilderness and outdoors, and that was a horrifically traumatic event for him. And but he's like he's happy just to not do that anymore. It's like he did that. This is what he said to me. You know how some people just need to skydive once? He says, "Well, that was my skydiving. It was something I was passionate about. I went backcountry in the great wilds of Canada with his girlfriend, and I should, that's a really good point, Stu. I never asked how much affection they were showing to one another. Were they arguing? Were they indifferent to one another? It's important stuff, right? Sorry, I got a big hair sticking out in my face here. But what a good question, Stu. And Ina, I know you watch the show sometimes, Ina. I'm gonna have to put that question. That's something to really think about because that's a really, really good question. That fits in so well. That's why I love this show. So somebody brings up about his wife, and then Stu brings up, hey, what about Ina and the boyfriend? And then what happens usually is truth leads to truth. This is what I've been talking about on my expeditions. Somebody hears something over there, somebody sees something over there, and everybody tells the truth, and it all adds up. So there's a track and there's a Sasquatch. And as long as you keep telling the truth, I love the way the truth just adds up to facts. And the truth is, that's how I feel about Sasquatch and how to protect your mate. And I would bet you that they were having an argument or something, that something was different towards them. So yeah, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm gonna have to I need to have a notepad for this show when you guys are brilliant. This is why I cooperate. These are brilliant questions, and you guys are amazing. And I love doing this show because I learn. You guys push me, and I learn, and I ask new questions. Can you imagine if that's the case? If he goes, yeah, we were having an argument for 2 or 3 days, and then Kubota, yanked me away. Or it teaches me too, if they were very affectionate and they were very loving and caring to one another, that because they broke up after this, right after this. How good could the relationship have been? Like they literally, and I don't think they broke up because of this. They went back to Ireland after, and they just went their separate ways. So how great was the relationship? Couldn't have been that amazing, right? They're not married, and the breakup was not because of Bigfoot. So James Terra says, when we got yelled at, it sounded almost like words in an unknown language. Have you ever heard them talk in a language? Absolutely not, James. Lots of people have. None of my colleagues and nobody in my cooperation has ever heard them talk in any way, shape, or form. Never say a word, except Ina, right? So go back to the Ina, what the big Sasquatch said to Kubota. So, uh, thank you, Dustin, for your nice comments. Gorillas hate rain, orangutans hate rain, chimpanzees hate rain, and I think Sasquatch really dislike rain. So, in all my experience, thank you, Todd, for your brave research. You are welcome. Remember, I'm just a person, and I do this for us. So Thank you for your brave research. It's our brave research. I wouldn't be able to do this without you guys' help. I wouldn't be able to do this without, the support of people watching my movies, watching my YouTube channels, turning this in. So this is really this is our research, guys, and I'm not hoarding. I'm on the show to share what I've learned and what I, even test my knowledge. Is this way? And do you guys have contrary to what my theories are? Because we need the truth helps us move forward, and you can't be arrogant about it, right? Todd, you learn more. You lean towards the monkey type, not people. Oh, absolutely, people. Um, yeah. Well, in fact, so this is a really good question. This is gun to guns. So the DNA goes. So let me start here. So it's orangutan, gorilla, chimpanzee, human, and Sasquatch. So the Sasquatch are a more evolved hominid than humans. So, and that's the DNA, guys. I've seen it. That's where the DNA goes. Literally, chimpanzee, human being, Sasquatch. They're the most evolved, advanced, upright, bipedal hominid on the planet. They're a more advanced hominid than us, and I've said this many times. If you took Survivor Man out naked and told him no technology, and you threw him in the most harsh, crazy environment, he'd be dead in 2 months, probably. I love the man to death. I think the world of him. He said no technology, don't do it. He would not survive. Don't put coat on. Just that kind of stuff. He wouldn't make it through the winter. Obviously, he'd need to use his brains. He'd need to use technology, spears, cutting things with stones, making bowls, all the awesome stuff that amazing Survivor Man does. However, if you took a Sasquatch and threw him in that same environment, naked, no tools, no technology, come back in 10 years, he's gonna have a little belly. He's gonna be fat and living the life of abundance. So who's the more advanced hominid in nature in the wilderness? And that's where we're from. So technologically, sure, but in the wilderness, the most and on the DNA, who's stronger, who's faster, who's likely smarter, guys? I'm not even going to pull any punches. They're brilliant, and they do have human DNA, and they are actually of the same species because they can breed with human beings and produce viable offspring. That's been proven. So absolutely more hominid than us. So what the question was asked is, do I lean more towards monkey or people? And the answer is they are more a more advanced biped, a more advanced hominid. If you want to use people as like humans, we're humans are the ultimate humans because that's our species, but they're definitely less like monkeys than we are in the genetic link of things. Because again, the chimpanzees, humans, Sasquatch, they're further away. That's what was the one of the big things with the DNA of Sasquatch that people were throwing out that I had was they were comparing it to chimpanzees, and it was too unlike, it was too far away from chimpanzees to even be human, which made it very very powerful. Good question by ex Goatface. Can Sasquatch be gay? I would say absolutely yes. Gorillas have shown gay behavior, and as a scientist, I'm just gonna say it. People, I know gay people. I've seen it, and we've clearly identified it in the genes. People are just born that way. I know there's a big thing about this, and religious people might get upset with me, but if you're religious and you believe in God, I'll say this: God made them that way. How dare you question that? And as a scientist, personally, they were just born that way. They were genetically hatched that way. It's a little bit of an oddity, but I'm going to say absolutely Sasquatch are going to be gay 100%. Again, we've definitively seen it in gorillas. So, how's the wild TV showing done? How's the wild TV show going? It makes me want a satellite TV again. Yeah, don't worry, guys. You'll see it. The shows are good. I was happy. I was okay happy 6 out of 10 with the first 3 episodes that are all about New York State. And then the last 3 episodes, I would give them sevens and such. There's no new footage on them, no new Sasquatch footage in them because I didn't film any new Sasquatch in those episodes. It's very, it's week long expeditions, and I'm doing things differently right now. So, have you checked out Bashar, aka Daryl Anka? I have not. Thank you for asking, though. Infinite Bean. And what says, do the female Bigfoot have giant boobs? They have boobs. They're definitely not giant. They're just reasonable. Look at the Patterson footage. They look like that, or smaller is what I've seen actually. Hello Todd. Hello Judy. Questions questions, people. Thank you for tuning into the show, everybody. I live in Washington State, and I've had my experience as well. And Washington State is such a damn hot spot. What a gorgeous state! Like, you know, beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous. I love Washington. It's amazing too because Washington's right below British Columbia, where I live. Like Alberta is right above Montana, where where I grew up, and there's a I found a tremendous amount of similarities between Washington and Alberta, but too much similarities. I found the terrains just extremely similar, and I would say not so much with BC and Washington State. Um, they're very similar, but there's some big differences, and maybe it's just what I feel. I don't know, just something. I'm very empathic now, and I'm embracing that. I'm a heart tracker. I track based on the way I feel. I feel my way through the wilderness. I feel my way to success with Sasquatch. It's how I do things that are literally impossible. It's no different than a psychic coming up for police and giving them clues that were impossible. They never would have discovered, the particular crime that was committed because of the psychic. I move based like that, and it's more than that too. It's also the Sasquatch can are more attracted to me when I'm empathic, more attracted to me when they understand my intent and how I feel, uh, they see my energy and my positivity and my love for nature, and so we have these exceptional similarities. And I guess most importantly, and I talk about this a lot, is my hunger for knowledge and learning about the wilderness. Just tremendous thirst from it, and appreciation of it. My last expedition I just went out on, my little boy, who's just awesome, and I just love him to death. He's 12, and he asked me to go get footage of the wolves. So I went down the wolf trail, and my little girl loves butterflies, so I'm on an expedition and I'm taking video of butterflies, looking for the wolves. And but the point is, I'm out there loving nature, right? And I'm not even, and that's the best way to get a Sasquatch encounter, is go look for the wolves, go love the wolves, go appreciate species that you love and have that kindred spirit with. And when you're out there and you have that thirst for knowledge, the teachers of the wilderness will come around, and those are the Sasquatch. So I'm just going to do a few more questions here, guys. I'm loving this show today. I'm having so much fun. This show is literally like good therapy for me. I feel it may sound strange, but I really need to talk with you guys. I really need you guys to answer these questions or ask these questions and have these awesome discussions with you guys. I really love doing the show. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in every week. Never run out of questions, right? Hello from Maine. Wow. How many types of Bigfoot do you think there are? One. Just one. I don't think it'd be any different than bears. You've got the Kodiak bears, you've got the coastal brown bears, you've got the grizzly bears, but they're all brown bears. So even black bears, you see black bears. I saw black bears way down south. I saw them in Texas, for goodness sake, and they were so tiny. But they have deer out there. I'm like, what's the matter with your deer? They're so little. They're little babies. But they're deer. They're just little in Texas and bigger in Canada. So just the same species, and that's it. Just one species of Sasquatch. That's it. If you're talking about like Dog Man, and that's don't know anything about Dog Man. Never saw a Dog Man. Never had a colleague that I trust and uh, I have a relationship with talk about a Dog Man. Not to say there's no Dog Man. I just don't know about it. So I know more about UFOs than I know about Dog Men. Sincerely. So, but just one kind of Bigfoot, and if there is such thing as a Dog Man, it's not a Bigfoot, right? So, for those who want to start Sasquatch research, check out Todd Standing's How to Track Bigfoot 101. Yeah, cool. I did that video, didn't I? Very cool stuff. Lots of great videos on my website. If you go scrolling through there, just read the names. Uh, it's not so much the live shows. These live shows are long and they always have different topics. I never know where these live shows are going to go. But if you just look at the names, like To Kill or Not to Kill a Sasquatch is an amazing video. Um, I don't know, just lots of videos that I really cared about and really mattered. There was a topic that came up and it really mattered to me even before I did these live shows, that this information was out there. And the Savannah mini doc is out there, and just lots of information. It's been a big journey for me. You'll see me back in the day called them primates, and maybe in the very beginning I called them animals, and I don't do that anymore. So they are animals. We're animals. Don't get me going on that topic, but I think it's more respectful to call them hominids, or even the great and amazing Jeff Meldrum calls them relic hominids. Fantastic way to and respectful way to speak about them. Judy, apes and gorillas are at least 98% comparable DNA. That's correct. They are hairy too. Correct. What happens after Sasquatch dies? Oh, all I have for you, Duty, is theories. No evidence, just theories that I believe they take them to a particular spot, a burial site, and that burial site gets protected. And I have a lot of colleagues that have worked to substantiate that. And again, Langchun, China, that discovery um, talks about that as well. So very interesting stuff. Chat room will be open. Thank you, Phil. Todd's stream is over. For those who want to be chatting, go to discoveringbigfoot.net. And I think you can even click that link because Phil's so awesome with that stuff. And Phil and Andy are on here, and I'm very grateful for them. Even Kyla. Kyla knows a lot about what's going on in my life. Um, Phil knows. I just talked to Phil today, and Phil watches all the shows. Phil has a greater knowledge of what's going on in the internet with Bigfoot than I do. So Phil's really a tremendous authority. And if you get through to Phil, you get through to me. If you can convince Phil of your footage, of your discovery, that Todd needs to talk to you. If you convince Phil, Phil is my left arm for Sasquatch. So he has direct access to me. He's not afraid to. He calls me when he needs to. He talks to me when he needs to. When there's something important, he gets a hold of me, and he's an amazing asset. And I'm very grateful for his help. So, have you had any experiences in Saskatchewan? I almost feel like I have, but I haven't, just because I have really close colleagues, tracking friends that have seen them and know about them in lots of places. Turtle Creek, just northern Saskatchewan. It's amazing Sasquatch habitat. I was really considering going there and putting my, throwing my hat in the ring for that, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. Duty Todd thinks they are placed in special cave. Yeah, that's correct, Andy. Andy's paying attention. And there's Royal Creations. And if you're a genuine researcher with stories and evidence and you want to share them, you can contact Todd at Discover. And thank you, Royal Creations. So look at all these people helping out. I am just so grateful. Increase your chances of viewing Sasquatch with our tip sheet. Look at that. They got a tip sheet. You guys are amazing. This is what I want. I want this so bad. I want you amazing people to go cooperate and work together. I wish I could do more. I'm just my life is absolute insanity right now, and I'm just barely like keeping my head above water with all the things that I have to do, and I need to get. I'm getting more help, and I'm accepting more help, but just you know like I'm going through a horrible divorce right now. I don't talk about that, but and it's been very damaging, and my wife was an enormous asset in my life. She did everything and helped me with everything, and so now that I don't have that, it's like I'm half. A great woman in your life is an absolutely enormous asset, and I had that before, so I get half as much work done, and it's I'm just barely keeping up. So, but lots of great stuff going on, lots of big changes coming. This is Boyd Connolly. There's a person who claims to feed the Sasquatch human prepared food. Do you think this is good effect? No. Without messing, no, no, I don't like that. And I could be wrong, but I just don't like it. Like, all I ever give them is apples and pears. I'd give them nectarines, just fruit, because no, I would be no human food at all. Can you speak Bigfoot language? I don't know anything about a Bigfoot language. Do they have a language? I've never been, no knowledge of that. And have you recorded them? No, none of that stuff, Chris. So my native elder, who was always right and always amazing and just an absolutely brilliant man, told me they could speak an old dialect of Cree, the Sasquatch in the Hobima area that go all the way over to the Nordag area. He said they all know an old dialect of Cree, and if the day ever comes where you need translating, he would translate for me because he spoke that dialect of Cree. He has passed away since then, but yeah. And then this is Sean Cohen. My partner and I have been looking for the Yowie here in Queensland, Australia. Good luck, my friend. Absolutely heartfelt. I wish you tremendous success. I need to come to Australia and start helping out there a little bit. It's definitely on my to-do list. The Darnum Drunk Tribe of the Blue Mountains has been calling me out there for over a decade. An elder, an elder like a Darnum Drunk Aboriginal from Australia, had a dream about me, and then one of his people from his reserve contacted me for him, and he was telling me I have to go there, and I feel it. I feel drawn there, and I don't know why. And I don't know what I could do to help, but he said I had to come there, and so I need to go there. And I've had lots of. I've been on Australia TV many times, an Australian Andean Hamish and Andy came out here to do some work with me. I know they're comedians, but it was fun. I love to laugh. So just tons of Australia stuff going on, and I get so many calls out there. COVID really screwed up my Australia stuff. Hey Todd, what area of Canada or U.S. has the largest concentration of sabo? Just in my opinion, it's going to be Washington and British Columbia, in my opinion. But that's home for me, Washington and British Columbia. Well, I don't live in Washington, but it's right below British Columbia. I just think the abundance is tremendous with the salmon. The salmon are crazy sources of food, guys. Crazy. So you get better berries, longer growing season with more berries, fatter, ungulates and food sources, and then you throw in salmon. That's why the brown bears and the Kodiaks are so freaking huge because they have salmon. When you take salmon away, you get the grizzly bears, which are brown bears that are significantly smaller because they don't have salmon. Salmon is an incredible food source that is immensely abundant, and I think that's where the salmon are. The Sasquatch are going to be more abundant and bigger. So, do you think Bigfoot lives in caves in the winter? I certainly do. Or do you think they have villages? No, not villages, but caves most likely. Well, so I'm going to end it with this with Chris. So, Chris, where I live in Canada, you'll see if you ever see pictures, there's creeks and rivers all over the place. Beautiful freshwater rivers, and they flow all year. It's minus 40 outside, and the darn creeks and rivers are flowing. They come from glaciers that are inside mountains. I see them all the time. And if the amount of flow that's happening, like in my lifetime, I'm mid 40s, there must be billions of liters, billions and billions of gallons of water that's coming out of these mountains. It's going to leave cave systems like crazy. In fact, a lot of these creeks are even dried up now. So now you have a glacier that was inside a mountain that's all melted. So inside of these mountains all over Canada are going to be ridiculous. And then even in the United States, because all your glaciers are melted and gone. You don't get freshwater glaciers almost. I was in, as an example, in Ohio. All the glaciers are gone. They're all melted, guys. And Canada's going to be like that in 30, 40 years, right? All our glaciers are melting, and when that's done, all the fresh, beautiful water that we have from the glaciers is going to be gone. So there must be enormous cave systems and underground systems and stuff out there. So uh, and they can't walk around with those big feet of theirs that are fleshy. They can't continuously walk around in the snow. They're going to get cold and freeze. And winter's harsh. Winter's brutal up here in Canada. Brutal. So bears that have big paws have to hibernate. Most animals that can't handle the winter that are so tough and live in the north sleep, like bears and badgers and marmots and so many different species, squirrels, because it's winter's so harsh. And the animals that do survive in the winter are usually ungulates, and they have hooves for walking around because the cold doesn't get through the hooves and up into the legs like would happen with a foot. So it's only the bears and the mountain lions and the wolves are the only predators that survive and don't hibernate in the winter. So it's really really harsh, really really tough, and so they gotta go into caves and take a break and put their feet up and cuddle up with one another. I'm sure they do all that kind of stuff. So thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. The like it's been written up here that there's going to be there's going to be places to talk and stuff. So, and I hope you guys can even chat on here a little longer. I thoroughly enjoy doing the show. It's pretty likely about a 90% chance I'll be doing the show next week. It's just a matter of Wi-Fi, but I'm going to fight for it because of you guys. You guys are awesome, and I love doing this show. Sign up for the newsletter. Oh my goodness, to find out more about future documentary releases. That is so cool. I need to work on that newsletter. It's important. I love putting that stuff on. I got so many supporters. Patreon is an excellent way, or go to discoveringbigfoot.org and you can make donations there. They really, really help because I am a full-time Sasquatch researcher and I do answer to you guys and I give my best there. Hey, Central Michigan Bigfoot, I'd like to add you as I wonder if I could just hit that. Oh, look at that. Add moderator. Central Michigan Bigfoot and Wildlife is now a moderator. Boom. Just like that. So I keep hearing things from Central Michigan Bigfoot and Wildlife. I keep hearing the ring of truth over there, and I like what I'm hearing. I really, really like it. So again, thank you so much, guys. Congratulations, Central Michigan Bigfoot and Wildlife. And just like Central Michigan Bigfoot and Wildlife, and all you guys out there, take the movie, take all the research I have, make it your own. uh, it's our research. It's all about sharing, and That's why I did the documentary. That's why I continue to research. It's for all of us. It's to move the discovery forward. That's why it's called discovering Bigfoot, because we need to discover it, and it's we. And I don't do this by myself. The main reason I'm getting such tremendous success and doing so well is cooperation. Try it out sometime. It's a wonderful way to live. And until next week, you guys take care, and I wish you the best of luck, and we'll talk soon. Good night.